neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction happens when an acid, and you'll be able to recognize acids because they contain H's, react with a base, and you'll recognize those because they contain OH's, and then the products of that reaction are water and a salt. Be wary not to confuse the word salt with NaCl. Salt is just the vocabulary word that describes any ionic compound that contains a cation and an anion. So for example, here's an acid reacting with a base. The products would be a salt and H2O. And then here is an acid because it has an H, and a base because it has an OH, producing H2O. Here's the water. So this H becomes part of water. This OH becomes the other part of water. And then what's left is the salt from the acid and the base. Has an H plus is classified as an acid. Anything that has a hydroxide is classified as a base. And so when Arrhenius acids dissociate, which that word just essentially means to dissolve in solution, the substance, if it produces H plus as part of that solution, it is considered an acid. If it produces hydroxide as part of that solution, it is considered a base. So for Bronsted-Lowry theory, it's not much different than the Arrhenius theory, but the way we define acids under the Bronsted-Lowry theory is something that donates a proton. So this kind of looks the same. And when I say proton, I'm talking about an H plus, because an H plus is really just a hydrogen atom that's lost its electron. So the only thing left is a proton. So when we say H plus, that means the same thing as a proton. So again, a Bronsted-Lowry acid is something that has an H plus and it gives it away. A base is something that accepts that proton, or a proton acceptor. So here's an example. So we have NH3 reacting with H2O, and the product of that is NH4 plus OH minus. And so the NH3, from the reactants to the product side, it has gained a hydrogen or a proton. So it picked up an extra hydrogen and became positive, which means it's a proton acceptor. And under the Bronsted-Lowry definition, that makes it a base. So this NH3 is a base. Where did that proton come from? It came from this H2O. And so since H2O gave away a proton and became OH minus, it got rid of that H plus proton, then this is classified as an acid because it's a proton donor.